Pick 3, the Brisbane Lions have chosen Hugh McCluggage, Jared Berry, Alex Witherden, Jacob Allison.
These kids are good.
What a goal! A glimpse of the future for the Lions.
This time last year I was pretty busy with school and that sort of thing, just finishing up my exams, and then I guess you sort of go home, try and make the most of it because you don't really know where you're going to go, and it's a pretty nerve-wracking time, I guess, for all the boys involved. You've got clubs coming and that sort of thing, and I had no idea where I was going to end up. So yeah, once it's all over, it's a bit of a relief, that's for sure. Wanting to be a professional footballer was a little bit of a dream of mine when I was a kid. I guess you always go to the games and stuff and watch the players and look up to them, but I guess as you figure out how hard it actually is coming up to the TAC Cup and that sort of thing, yeah, it might dwindle a little bit and you might sort of second guess yourself, but I've absolutely loved it as soon as I've got into it, and but there's nothing better than playing something that you love for a full-time job.
Wrapped up, handball squirts to McCluggage from a tight angle, he goes for it and kicks another one. Magnificent finish for Hugh McCluggage, he's got 2.
Yeah, the combine is pretty nerve-wracking, I guess. You've got all the scouts there and 70 other blokes that are all trying to get a spot and impress. I actually had a little bit of an injury, so I didn't do a little bit of testing, but even sort of the mental tests and the interviews and that sort of thing take a bit to get used to, sitting in front of 8 or 9 people and a couple of head coaches. It's pretty surreal. I played a little bit of music growing up. I've got a little guitar in my room that I use to get away from sport and away from school, I guess, which is pretty big for me, to be able to just have that sort of thing that I can go back and relax with, switch off a little bit. I remember the interview, it was Nobes and Fags, and we're all in there and asking me questions and trying to put you off a little bit, I guess, but they were really good, and they asked me to tell them sort of what I thought I'd bring the club. They also told me what direction they saw the club heading in, which I found really interesting.
Good evening and welcome to the 2016 AFL NAB Draft.
Draft night's a pretty surreal sort of thing. I don't think you'd ever get used to it. Yeah, it's an awesome experience, like people everywhere, and I guess you go into it with that unknown of where you're going to end up. So it's nerve-wracking, but it's exciting at the same time. And yeah, when your name gets called out, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Pick 3, the Brisbane Lions have chosen Hugh McCluggage from the North Ballarat Rebels.
You don't really have much time to sort of take it in. You can't really remember too much of the night, to be honest. It just goes like that. Yeah, I guess I enjoyed the part after it where you get to meet the Brisbane Lions staff, and I met him out the back, and you feel like you know a bit more at that stage rather than all that uncertainty, so I enjoyed that part of it. Yeah, to see Jared get called out, I was actually sitting in the back of the room with a few of the other boys, and I was on my phone looking at the live pics, and I saw his name and I just couldn't believe it. I was sort of in a bit of shock, I reckon. It couldn't have, I guess, fallen any better because he didn't have any idea where he was going to go. So yeah, it was awesome. Another great sort of moment that night, and yeah, I've loved it. Loved Brisbane as a city, and really enjoyed the move up here and the lifestyle, and couldn't imagine myself going anywhere else now.
Jared? Your old mate Dewey from the same club.
Yeah, getting to make my debut with Jared was awesome. We were lucky enough to get it at the same time, so everything sort of just happened together so far in our careers, and yeah, I guess it was just a fitting sort of end to the year, or start of the year, but end to the year that had come before that.
It's stolen again by Hugh McCluggage. This guy's all class. Runs to 45 and puts through his 4th.
A tight spot, a great kick. What a goal from Hugh McCluggage. A glimpse of the future for the Lions.